Good morning. We had a early visitor. I swear, like I told Steve, hey, I'm going live now. And he immediately came in. It's like he knows. So he's going to be here for our morning hellos and everything. Good morning, Trey. Good morning, Cece. Good morning, Michelle. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm so sorry, Shannon. Okay. Sounds good. Like I said, I mean, he had his thing. I'm so sorry. Mona, good morning. Yeah, Paul is here bright and early with us. He's looking out the window. I'm telling you, you guys can hear it. He's scratching at the window. Paul, honey, you can't get out that way. The thing of it is, if we can see his tail. He's standing up on the desk right now, scratching on the window. If we were to let him out, like he would be terrified and immediately want to come back in. So he does this thing where he scratches on the window like, I want to get out, except I'm in a 2-story window. Natalie, let's see. Make sure I got everyone. Paul, honey, that's my curtain. Can we? No, we don't drink paint water. You are being mischievous. Anyway, we started like 5 minutes early because I make sure we still got our music going. I was like, well, we're ready to go, and we have loads to talk about, like a lot to talk about. So I figured we'd jump right in. So first things first, today we are going to be coloring in Mythographic Magical Earth. I know that like between the shorts, the reels and all that, and this live streams, we've been doing a ton of Johanna Basford, and I was like, it might be, first coloring of the new year. Let's mix it up a little bit. So we're going to be doing Magical Earth, and I marked the little page, and we are going to be doing this page here with the stag with the tree branches for antlers. You heading out? Okay, see you later. And then I was lucky enough to get some new Neocolors for Christmas, so of course I wanted to utilize those. Let's see, this one is we're going to be using primarily this one. I really like the idea of the pastel. This is really bright. That's more bright. There we go, that's better. So it's the pastel set. So we're going to be doing that. But we also have on hand, which is why, like, when I put the link for Neo Pastels, like, I didn't select one specifically. I just, like, here's all of them so that you could decide. This was the portrait one that we used, last time before that? Hi, Connie. Hi, Linda. If I missed anyone coming in, I apologize. This was the other new one, the Pop Neocolor 2. So for their anniversary ones, the only one left is, like, there's a bluish green one, so I've got my eye on that. And then, of course, we got our regulars. I also made myself, and I haven't even redone it yet. Hi, Dee. I made myself a color chart that puts all my colors together, but I made a little story. In fact, it was the first story I posted when I was kind of coming back from Christmas break, because I ended up I just took the whole time off. Here, we could probably switch to here. Nah, we'll go back to the other one. Anyway, I took the whole time off from like posting. I really wasn't, doom scrolling all that much. And so when I came back, it's like, all right, cool. I'm going to make a color chart. Well, here's the thing. I had made an initial chart and I didn't look at the names when I was filling them in on this thing. I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'll just copy it over to this new one. So this little section here should be flipped and go here. Like, as you can see, it is a hot mess, and I didn't realize it until I filled the colors in, and I was just like, yeah, that's a problem for another day. I'm not doing it. But these are all of the colors. Let's make sure we're in focus. And it's still very bright. There we go. That's a little bit better. Anyway, these are all the colors that I have now, but I wanted to see them all on one card. It's not one that I print out or anything because I wanted to do this on watercolor paper, and also because I just have an inkjet printer. The ink runs when water gets on it, which is why I don't do a lot of like printed ones with watercolor or gouache or whatever else. But yeah, so this one was all hand done, but totally messed it up. But again, that is tomorrow's problem. But that is what we're going to be doing today. So it's Joseph Catimbang. He's my favorite of all of the Mythographics. So, but we're going to be doing Neocolor 2s. If you have watercolors or whatever else and you're following along, that is just fine. Now, let's get to the stuff I want to chat about because it's more of like a show and tell-ish kind of thing. So first of all, if you've been on my socials for the last couple of days, you might have seen that I've been painting like a lot. I find that I'm really enjoying smaller, more digestible paintings, ones that I can get done in a day versus, I mean, it's still a lot of hours like this one, which not gonna lie, I absolutely love. Was 4 hours straight. Normally I have to break up that time like a lot, so it takes me a few days. But every now and then I'd hold up one of the paintings and just ask Steve, I was like, do you know what fruit this is? And if he said what fruit it is, then hi Durbin, then I'll know that it wasn't terrible. So this one was recognizable for him, so huzzah. So we got pomegranates. This one was the first one. We had some garlic. These are the raspberries, so I've really been enjoying that. And then this one is work in progress. I haven't posted anything on this one, and it is by means not done at all. I still need to do like the middle and put in all the seeds and make sure that the kiwi's all hairy and whatnot, because that's what we want in our fruit, hair. So I've been doing a bunch of these. Oh, thank you. My plan is to actually do a small painting drop online. When I get a few more, I want to get a good couple of them before I put them up there. I may offer them as prints later. We'll see, but the originals will definitely be going up at the shop at some point. So yes, Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you, Cece. Yeah, it was just nice. I had a lot of time to just paint. We had family that came for Christmas and whatnot, but after all of the shenanigans were done, we didn't plan anything at all for after Christmas, and it was just nice to just kind of hunker down. Literally, don't go anywhere, don't do anything. I mean, little Steve was recovering from the flu and an ear infection anyway, but still. It's been nice to just kind of hunker down and chill out. Okay, let's see. I'll show you a couple Christmas presents, and then I'll get you caught up on more channel stuff. So if we know the color cube, some of you who crochet may have seen this like on your TikTok ads or whatever. It got through Amazon, I don't know. I haven't purchased from TikTok Shop yet. I don't know. I usually just check to see if it's on Amazon. Anyway, this is on my wish list. And Steve got it for me for off my list on Amazon. But essentially, it's basically like the color cube, but for granny square patterns. So in here, there's all of these cards, and then it's got all of the mix and match designs with the instructions. So if you are, I like that one. That one's super cute. If you are wanting to mix up your granny's, what do they say? It's not your granny squares. It's not your granny's granny squares. I think that's what they say when they advertise it. But I've been eyeballing it for a while, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So, granny square card deck. My sister actually, so they came to visit and we did a Secret Santa, but my sister gifted me with some punch needle supplies. So Christmas Day, I worked on this. Some of you might remember we have done like our downstairs, or we're working on it, decorating all Lord of the Rings. So I didn't want to do anything super complicated, but I wanted it to look a little bit like moss. So I actually like trimmed in between the different colors to give it kind of a raised effect to it. But I can't decide if I want to turn it into a pillow or a wall hanging, which is why it's kind of hanging out and frayed, because I want the extra fabric if I decide to turn it into a pillow. Ignore my mishmash of felt, but I was like, if I'm going to turn it into a pillow, I need to make sure that the threads aren't going to come out. So there's actually, I sealed the back of it so the yarn doesn't come out, and then I have the back with felt, and then I'll figure out what I want to do with it. That's what I'm thinking about. I want to do a really big one for a wall hanging. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I mean, it feels like a rug. But it was definitely something new. I hadn't done, not that I need more crafts to do. There's so little time as it is. And then this was a cool notebook. Oh, I knocked over the granny cards that Steve got me. I have a hole punch coming that looks like stamps. And not that I've really ever done junk journaling, but what I want to do with this is kind of that idea, where I saw this really cute thing where you take the stamp hole punch, where it just looks like a small stamp, and you get different pieces. I guess what the technical term is, ephemera, but like different pieces of paper or wrapping paper or whatever, something that's significant to you, and then you put the little stamps inside and then you just label them. Not that it's like pictures, but it's just, you know, little ephemeras that hold specific specific meaning. But I thought this was just a really cool kind of notebook. So I really got a little leaf on it and everything. So yeah, I thought that was fun. All right, then let me grab our small victories here. We finally got caught up on the small victories episodes, and I have started on the next one. Like I said, since I took a break for Christmas break, I hadn't done a ton, so I need to put the little sheets in here. So here is the finished one. Before I left to go, or you know, before we had our last trip, I showed you I had these two boats. So this one is finished now. And then this one is starting. I don't know that I like the white on top of it. You might have seen a little clip of it in my stories, but this one is going to be neon lights. And I'm doing it all in Prismacolor, but they're going to be neon lights. So it'll be pink and green and yellow and orange. So my hope, obviously it's not done yet, but my hope is to have it look like neon signs when it's done. And then of course we'll have this one next. I'm trying to be real careful with transfer since I'll be using so much black on this. I'm like, I don't want to mess with that too much. So that is where we're at with small victories. So I need to continue working on that. And then I posted a reel, Grazia Salvo. She has got a new planner coming out, and also she has exclusive illustrations on her Patreon, which this one, pretty sure it's exclusive to her Patreon. This one is on there. Anyway, Grazia Salvo, absolutely wonderful illustrator, so check her out if you haven't already. So that was this one. And then for the last one, this is this month's download for YouTube members, Insta subscribers, thanks Dawn, and Facebook subscribers. So if you are a member or a subscriber, be sure to grab those. Ooh, nice, Michelle. Well, I need to check the P.O. box. I'll probably check it Monday, but it may be here by next stream. Sorry, I also have my coffee. It may be here by next stream, so if it is, we'll definitely be showing it off. But yeah, I really liked how this one turned out. I did Ohuhu markers and the Caran d'Ache Loomies, but it's a little fairy house in a flower pot. So there's that. I guess I kind of sped through that. Oh, okay. And we can talk about this more, maybe at the end of the stream. We got a few more people in here if they want to weigh in. So we are, thanks, Renee. So thanks, Dee. It's 2026. I hope everybody had a good New Year, good Christmas and all of that. So we started, I feel like the light's totally washing me out. Anyway, we started this community quilt project in 2024. It is now 2026, so I think 2 years is a good time to wrap this up. And I mentioned it briefly, but I wanted to get your insight for like, hi Marcy. Oh, Marcy, I'm assuming the floodwaters receded. You're doing, everybody's fine. Everything's in one piece. What I want to do, 2 more charms yet? Okay, cool. Well, that's what I want to do. I want to give everybody a chance to get more charms, because the fact of the matter is I'll have a lot of extra charms and I don't know what to do with them yet. So here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do, because we have a handful. Let me see. How many squares do we have left? I feel like I'm like slouched down here, but it's because I have the camera up so you can see the thing. Let's see. Why is it going to that? That's weird. I'm going to go here. Does it get weird for you guys when you try to go to the loyalty store? Hang on. I'm going to log into this real quick. So for how many squares we have left, let's see, we're going to go to the shop here. So we have got 13 squares left. So I know there's 32 here. I think most of you have a square. You can't log into it anymore. Now that I'm logged in, I'm going to go to loyalty store here. That's weird. Why does it take you to like a donation thing? Here, let's put it up in chat. Let's see, exclamation point, loyalty, I think. Is Nightbot asleep? Honestly, it's been like a couple weeks since we have logged on here. So if there's an issue, let's see. All right, let me click on this. Why is it taking you to the donation page? That's really weird. It should not be going there. Okay, I may need to fiddle with that because that is incredibly weird. All right, so I'll work, that'll be my job this week, and then I can make like an official announcement for what we're gonna do for next week. So we've got 13 squares left, obviously plenty of charms and whatnot. Yeah, that's really weird. That should not be a, yeah, because that's where it was taking me. Like it shouldn't go to a donation page. If I click on my name, Emily. Okay, I'm gonna have to fiddle with that. So I'm not ending. Yeah, we definitely won't until I can square away whatever's going on with the loyalty store. I swear that's not me trying to push like, oh yeah, there's a paywall for you to. No, not at all. That should not be happening. So I'll fix that this week. So here's what I want to do. So for people who, can I get like a raise of hands or like a heart or some sort of emoji in chat if you do not have a square yet left for the new space? Yeah, because that's what I think I could do. You know what I could do? I could go through the squares and make a list of who has a square, and how many charms everybody has, because I want to give everybody a chance to do some stuff. I could. Well, what I was thinking about doing is for the remaining squares, do enough giveaways for people who don't have a square yet. So for the squares that we have left over, we'll do giveaways for people who don't have a square yet. And then we'll do, honestly, because there's so many charms, I'm thinking I need to figure out a way to organize that. I'm thinking we could do like where everybody gets an additional charm, but I need to figure out how to organize that. Like, cause I can't just set the price to 0 because there isn't like a limit, and I don't want to say, oh, like there's only one of each charm. So I may need to see if I can adjust like how many redemptions each individual person can do. So I want to do like a last hoorah for it. So everybody that hasn't had to get a chance to get a square, since we have a few extra squares, we can get those filled in, and then make sure that everybody has a chance to like redeem. We'll do some giveaways for some points. Like we're just going to do like one, maybe I should do a separate, like still do a coloring stream, but do an additional one aside from our regular Friday one. So that, you know, because there's probably going to be a lot of interruptions if we're doing a lot of giveaways. You can get, oh, you don't need to give away your points. No, we'll give extra points. We're going to give extra points. That's the whole point, is I want people who haven't had a chance to get a square, I want to get them a chance. And then I want to make sure people who can, points aren't coming up either. Yeah, it's looking like there's definitely something wrong with it. So I'll need to fiddle with it. Like I said, I haven't messed with it in a couple weeks. It could be. How did I not do a 20K celebration? It has been... So I'll have to look at that. You guys tell how clearly I am paying attention. It has been just like, I don't know. I think because we had like birthdays and then Halloween, and like I made multiple costumes, and then we went straight into Christmas. I told Steve it was like I just took one big exhale after. Yeah, look, see, my chat isn't even coming up there. Streamlive is asleep. Anyway, but yeah. So we'll do a special stream for it. We'll call it quote giveaway color stream. I don't know. It has been absolutely chaotic. And that's part of the reason why I wasn't posting, because it's like after there were no obligations short of making sure the children are fed and taken care of. There were no events coming up. There were no after school activities to do. Like, yes, Christmas is the most wonderful time of year, but you want to know my favorite part of the year is? Right after Christmas, when we're not doing anything or going anywhere. There's nothing to do. So anyway, we've just been kind of taking that time to exhale a little bit and, you know, take some time towards it when it's over. See, I like the event, but yeah, it's just the quiet afterwards. Like Christmas Day, short of making Christmas dinner, I did punch needle stuff all day. Was that for the channel in any way? Nope. Was I crocheting for any specific purpose? Nope. It literally had no reason. So yes, perfect. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. The decompress time. That's what I was looking for. Now, of course, we got school starting next week. The kids aren't thrilled, but yes, that time between Christmas and New Year's when nobody knows what day it is, what time it is, or even what planet they're on. That right there is my favorite. Right? Exactly. Okay, so I literally haven't moved. Where did I put the book? Go. I set it down here. That's why. The office isn't like messy or anything. It's completely clear. I just set it under my desk. Okay, so let us get some coloring done, shall we? I think we should. Now, the books in here are perforated. Do you think I should take it out? Oh, nice, Renee. That'll be exciting. Well, like I said, I've really been enjoying doing those mini paintings, and so when I get a few more done, I plan on releasing them in the shop. Okay, you good for taking them out? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Tape it back in. Oh, I think the taping back in would drive me nuts. I know. We'll start with it in the book, and then we'll go from there. All right. So we're not doing a color cube card or anything. Let's see. Which of these? You know what I need to do? I need to mark on the outside of these. Let's see. Do I have like a dark Sharpie? Okay. Because they don't exactly say on the outside. I'll do like an actual like paint thing later. Okay, so these are the portraits. That's really light, but it'll work enough for me for now. So put a little letter P on there. Tried to pull a dirty through Amazon. What do you mean? Oh, I guess that's portrait. I guess this will do pastel. I still am going to get them, but between Christmas gifts and everything else, like that kind of size of a just me purchase was not super responsible of me. So I'm basically just watching for it now. As soon as if it does, whenever it drops back down to $135 on Amazon again, which I'm gonna like, even the pastels, like the prices went up and they're not on Prime anymore because they all got bought up for Christmas. I thought about that, Renee, but I don't want it to get like messy or dinged or whatever else. Anyways, so when they drop back down to $135 or if on Amazon, that's probably when I'll get it. But yeah, Durbin, I'm really, oh, I could laminate it. I didn't think about that. Ooh, yeah, I should laminate it. Pre-ordered at $135. They canceled the order claiming no stock, but still had listings for $235. Weird. So maybe it won't go back down. I have it sitting in my cart, like in the save for later thing for watching it, because I'm not going to pay more than $135. Like that's what the price was. I'm saving my, on the 23rd. I've got a Scotch brand laminator. Steve got it for me years and years ago. And I don't use it as often. Like I've still got plenty of the laminating sheets. You got them for $135? Yeah. Well, I want to use my Amazon gift cards for them. Whenever you guys use my links, I get a little percentage of that. So I've been saving them. They honored the pre-order price by having me reorder it and refunded the difference. Oh yeah, that's shady. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I don't know. Maybe the stock will be back in. I have one I got with one of my coupons, Amazon coupons. Wait, I thought you ordered yours from, oh my gosh, guys, what's the place in the UK? I keep thinking Blick, that's not right. What's the place in the UK with the Colt pens? I thought you got yours from Colt pens. Even support said it was shady. Yeah, it seems like it. Like I said, I'm hoping that, yeah, Colt pens, thank you. I'm hoping that it'll drop back down when they get more stock. Like it's only up now because it's shipping from the UK. It wasn't shipping from the UK before. I got my pencils from Blick based on my original order from back in October with the lower pricing. I called and told Blick I was canceling. They said no wait and shipped, arrived before Christmas. See, I wish they would have done that with me. I was just like, the fact that they were telling me they couldn't price match, like I like Blick. I've never had an issue with them before, but it's like, you can't price match your own website? Like, that seems off. Which, oh, you did both. A few coupons my community page for the laminators. Oh, it came from Copen's laminator I got. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've got a Scotch brand laminator. I think Steve might have just picked it up for me at Target. Like I said, I've had it for years. So, but yeah, I do still want to get them, but I'll be honest, I haven't been watching. Like, I know Shannon did an unboxing. I saw when she went live with it. And then there have been a few that have also shared videos, but I specifically haven't watched them because I'm like, I do want them, but it's like circumstances keep happening and I'm just like, it's okay. It's fine. I'll be patient. So I haven't, watched anybody's Derwent drawing videos because not that I'm salty at them. I'm just salty in general about the whole thing. But now that Christmas is done, it's given me a chance. I'm going to save my Amazon gift cards that I get and hopefully purchase most of it on there. So, yeah. Anyway. Both sets arrived Christmas Day, day apart. There you go. It's crazy though that it took until Christmas for it to arrive. With the way pricing is looking, I figured why not if the price was going to double the pre-order price. Yeah. White wine lease. So these are from the portrait set. They don't really have numbers, do they? Well, I guess they kind of do. 7.5. They do. Okay. I don't know. Would the they have names. Yeah. Would the numbers be helpful to anyone? Because I can read them off. I don't know if anyone has, I don't have like a full color chart for these. Raise a hand. Do you have the full set of these? I don't know. How many are in there? I like that I'm just like slowly collecting them. Staring at my 2-page spread for music and trying to figure out what to start with. Wait, for music? Oh, for the music prompt. Sorry, I got there in the end. Okay, so, all right, we got the burnt sienna and the light wine lace. Let's do, yeah, bingo prompt. Okay. We're definitely going to get some indigo. I like that. Because I'm just thinking like, but not any of the anniversary sets. So wait, I assumed that the anniversary sets were in the big set. Are these entirely new colors from the 84 set? Sucker and have them all. Hey, that's the hope someday, right? Let me see. What is... Let's see. Do they have a color list on the full 84? Here we go. 30. Some new ones and some for... Oh, really? That's interesting. Yeah, I kind of thought that I was... Wait, is the 72 set not on Amazon? How many did you say? No, 80. Hold on, where is it? Old set, some colors new. There's a few. Really? Okay, where is it? 84 set, 84 set. Okay, Neocolor to 84. Oh, there we go. Okay, so 217. They don't have, I could probably find it on their website. Interesting. 40, 30. Yeah, that's really interesting. Okay, well, that's goals, right? There's a few. No, I have color. It's page 4 in one of our other books. So I wanted to do it differently. Oh, gotcha. Everyone was mad because you couldn't buy just the new colors. They only came. Oh, yeah, I could see that. I was getting I had put the anniversary ones on my list because I thought that maybe they'd be a little bit more digestible. Like, oh, okay, cool. This set, this. I assumed they were all in the full set. Because, I mean, Some of these, if you can find it on a good price, like I think the lowest I saw was $23.99. I can't remember which set that was, but currently none of them are on Prime right now, and I think it's because they're out of their US stock. They're all coming from overseas, and they are like $36 plus shipping, which is like $9.99. So, I mean, it's up there for a small set of these. So, yeah, I was looking out for smaller ones. But yeah, if I had had Neocolors and then that happened, I would have been pretty livid as well. Okay, so we've got plenty of blues for the sky and everything. The turquoise blue is nice. Where's my, okay, here's the big set. Okay, well, so that I don't overcomplicate it, I will just list off the just names for them. So let's see. We're definitely going to leave all of the pastels out. Okay, we have the silver gray, which is in here. Let's grab the black, because I'm sure that will come in handy. I was really glad there wasn't a duplicate black in these. There are a couple duplicate colors. Like, I think there was like 3 that are duplicate colors. Let's see. I don't know that I'll need any of these other colors. We could do, there's not really too many purples on here. Let's bring out the light lilac, which is from the Pop Neocolor 2. Let's see. Light lilac there. Tyrian pink is from this one. Yeah, Tyrian pink. And then this one is Rose of Garance. I think we'll bring that too, because that's a little bit of like a warmer pink. Is there anything else? Do we have salmon and conch pearl? Let's grab salmon and conch pearl. Broke down. I got the anniversary set sale. I wasn't going to because I have the original big set. Didn't want to duplicate, but they were on a good deal. What was the deal on them? I'm wondering if I should keep an eye out for that level of deal for the last one, the blue-green set. Full set syndrome. No, I would absolutely. Yeah, that's me too. So we do have in the portrait set, we got a light peony yellow. That's pretty pale, so I think we'll include that as well. Let's see, we've got the lime green, got the Amazonite. I don't know if I want to grab emerald. That's a little too bright for kind of the softer pastel that we're going for. I think we'll go with what we have. Of course, I don't know. There is some green. What Amazonite? Okay, we're gonna grab emerald green, and we may just use it very, very lightly. Okay. So we're gonna close these. So we took a little bit from the portrait set, a little bit from the pop set, and a couple from the, this is a 15. January 2nd, and my washing machine just died mid-cycle. Happy New Year. Oh, Shannon, I'm so sorry. Is it something that's bad enough you'll have to like get a new one or repair it? My dad taught me how to repair our dryer. And he kind of, we took it apart and he walked me through it. And now that I can visualize the dryer, I fixed it on my own once or twice now, and I absolutely love it. That being said, a dryer is much easier than a washer. Washer's got a few more bells and whistles. What? 19 with free shipping? With free shipping? Was that on Amazon? Was that a Black Friday? Was that crazy wizard magic? Durbin, 19? Gosh, yeah, no wonder I would have gotten them all too. Ha, dang, all right. If anyone sees the Neocolor anniversary, oh, not Amazon, but it was free shipping. Oh, free shipping over a certain amount. Crazy wizard magic. Where did you, was it like Blick? Shared knowledge. Oh my gosh, that's insane. I'm pretty sure Jerry's has open stock, if I remember correctly. I know they have open stock pan pastels. The Jerry's that's near me. I'm tempted to go up there. I know. I'm still so salty about that. Hi, B. How are you? Waiting on a new washer to be delivered. Anna, you want to share yours with Shannon? Sorry, the timing of that. You want to share? I'm sorry, Shannon. That's no fun, but the timing of that was too perfect. Oh, man. All right. Do we want to start with, I think maybe we start with Sky. Both in the black. Yeah, I know it. I gotta be honest though. I'm salty with Blick, but if they offered Neocolors for $19, I would be all over that. Like what? I can't think of a comparison. Really fast. Emergency underwire. Okay, let's go ahead and do the Sky first. Now, I want to do it where it's like a sunrise, but kind of paler. Let's see. So sunrises are darker blue on top with the lighter kind of pinkish stuff on the bottom. White on rice, thank you. I don't know those. White on rice, something that we say anymore. I feel like there's a part of that that's mildly problematic. I can't remember. Anyway, all right. Oh, underwear. Well, still, either way, underwear kind of falls in the same category. But honestly, who of us doesn't have underclothes that we wait to grab until there's nothing left to wear? Because I definitely have some. You know, they either fit funky and you're just like, whatever, I'll just deal with it. All right, so let's see. I'm going to turn this a little bit because we are going to, there we go. All right, so we are going to start with Sky Blue. Go figure. And this one is from the pastel set. So let's just go ahead. I've got my water, I've got my heat gun, I've got brushes with me, but we're gonna get it down here. If I run across any other super deals, I post them in Discord. Yeah, absolutely. Wait, did you say, who did you get them through? Oh, Jackson's, gotcha. I wonder, do Jackson's and Jerry's have like a watch list online? Because as much as I'd like to be able to go in, I don't know, maybe I can treat myself to a quick little trip to Jerry's one of these days and just get like a couple singles, because I would love, like if I'm looking at what I have on here total, I would love to have more greens for sure. Got plenty of the like peachy, orange, and yellow tones. I'm happy with that, but definitely like 1 or 2 more greens and maybe like 1 more blue and maybe 1 more kind of like rich purple. Yeah, like something, because we got this emerald, but it's so vibrant. I would really like something in between Amazonite and emerald. The only thing is, how would you store these? I mean, because the pencil cases are too big. Like, I wish you could just purchase the tins, right? Like, that would be nice. Maybe like when I go, if they've got open stock, like maybe they've got empty tins you can use. I mean, I suppose theoretically pencil cases would still work. They're just so short. Yeah, absolutely. I am down with good deals. I am all about that. In a wooden. Oh, you know what? I have those too. Hang on. Hang on. From my pastel storage boxes, of course. I've got some empty drawers here. I got these years ago, like when I first started coloring. These were my main storage. They're literally called pastel storage boxes. So, oh, they're a little too wide, but I could like do this. Do they fit the other direction? I would do it in between, but that could work. Like pastel storage boxes. My water heater died on New Year's Day. Oh no, call the gas company who I bought it from. It's 11 years old because I'm elderly. I have priority for service, so they were at my house a half hour later. Oh, B, gotta love that. Yeah, I literally have some empty drawers of these. This is where I would store them. I just wish they were a little bit wider so I could put them horizontally versus vertically. Okay, putting my drawer back here. I mean, yeah, they're literally called pastel storage boxes, so that would make sense. Right? Seriously. Gotta get some of those perks while you can. You know. As soon as that clicks over, you'd be like, all right, officially considered in the senior bracket, please come fix my water heater. Oh, the water heater was unfixable. They brought a new one half an hour later and everything back in order. But that's amazing. Was it like a warranty? So did you not have to, like, was it covered? Because if so, that's like ultra awesome. But it's nice that they have those priorities for, you know, for those that, you know, it's something that needs to be fixed quickly. We were having some issues with our heater. The sensor was off, so the heater kept shutting off because it was telling, the sensor was saying, it's 170 degrees in the house. It was not 170 degrees. Can you imagine? Figure out how to cut the dividers out of my pastel drawers without damaging them. I'm pretty sure I can lift mine out. I think I can lift mine out. Which then I suppose I could kind of store them anyway. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, no warranty left, $6.74. Well, that sucks, but at least they came and fixed it quickly. Like, we don't own a house yet, but that's one of the reasons that I do kind of like renting, because when that happens, like, it's not, so, you know, they got someone to fix the sensor, and at first we were like, oh no, the heater's not working, and then it was like 80. It was like in the, what was it, high or mid 70s, Steve? What? Yesterday, was it high or mid 70s? Yeah, mid 70s. So we actually took the kids out bike riding into the park. It was nice to get them out of the house for a little bit, but yeah, winter weather is not. Oh no, yours are glued in. I suppose if you, like, I personally wouldn't do it because I know myself and I probably end up stabbing myself on accident. But what if you, like, took a real sharp X-Acto knife cutting away from yourself? Emily, illustrator, is not responsible for any injuries due to X-Acto knives. A vague disclaimer is nobody's friend. Anyway, but like, what if you took it to the bottom and slowly just kind of like carved away at it till it was loosened? That could work. That a vague disclaimer is nobody's friend is a line that Willow says from Buffy, and I always just find it hilarious. A vague disclaimer is nobody's friend. Okay. So I'm not worried, like, we're going to blend a little bit, obviously, but we're going to be activating this. So I'm just getting the color down right now. Oh, Dremel. Yeah, Dremel could work. I wish there was some sort of, like, liquid D adhesive that wouldn't affect, like, anything that's porous, but you could just, like, you know, break down the glue and just pop it off. So for those of you that celebrated Christmas or did gifts or whatever else, did you guys have a favorite Christmas gift that you got this year? I was pleased with so many new crafty things. Plus I got some Lord of the Rings socks. Okay. I have the sky blue there now. I want to kind of go alternate so I get a good group of like blend between everything. I really like this peach blossom. I think I want to start with that. We could do a little bit of conch pearl, but yeah, let's start with a little bit of conch pearl and then go into peach blossom. So conch pearl is this one. The entire book. Oh, yes, I saw that. The entire Wheel of Time book set hardback. Hot dang. Oh, you were going to be occupied. My house got colder in winter once. We were like, oh no, until my husband saw a candle under the thing that checks the temperature in the house. Problem fixed. Oh my gosh, that'll do it. I was very excited about my Sakura Koi brush pens. Ooh, that's fun. family for a book. Never missed a pen. Oh, nice. Got one gift. It was a fuzzy blanket, and my dog claimed it. Oh, no, Durbin. Not the entire series, no. Let's see. What have I read? Because I actually ended up stopping at one point because I was kind of happy with where the storyline was. So let's see. Let me look it up because I want to say maybe after, let's see, Wheel of Time series. I've done book 1, book 2, and 3, and I stopped after 3. I don't know. I should probably slowly work my way through them again. Because Brandon Sanderson did actually pick up writing of the books after Robert Jordan passed. So it's probably good. But it was more of a like, I like how the story is now. I'm okay with ending it here. Nice, Linda. So have they arrived yet? Okay, let's see. We're going to do Conch Pearl here. It's okay if I go over some of the lines a little bit because these kind of layer even once you wet them. So that's what we're going to be working with. Okay, I am just going to go, I know it's light so it's hard to see, but I'm just going to keep it zoomed out so that I don't keep going out of frame while we're working on this background. Stamp Robert's autograph in the 3 Brandon wrote as an honor respect. Oh, I love that. I mean, really, what are you going to do? And honestly, he couldn't have asked for a better, you know, co-writer for these later ones. My brother got me started on Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and I kind of stopped reading it mostly because it was one of those things again where like I'm okay with where the story is ending now because Patrick Rothfuss hasn't finished the series and they don't know if they're gonna finish it. So I found a point where I was just like, yeah, I'm okay with ending it here mostly because I didn't want to like get hooked and then it's like, oh, it never gets finished. Gift for the house. Ooh, Hexclad. Ooh, nice, Renee. I've seen a lot of ads for those. Pizza set with pan, cutter, cutting board, and lift. Nice. Chromaflow set and Lego. Yeah, that's cool. Just FYI, Steve is headed out for anyway, the point is he won't be here. And little Steve is still fighting off his ear infection, so if he needs me, I will need to go tend to him. All right, so now we're going to grab Peach Blossom. Yes? Okay, yeah, that's Peach Blossom. Okay, so we're going to kind of blend that in. Like I said, it's all got a little bit darker once we start blending it all. What do I want to move to? Probably heliotrope, like light heliotrope. This one here would be good for after the Peach Blossom, since we're trying to lead it into the blue. What do we have here? We have cobalt blue hue. We'll definitely do that. Like maybe light heliotrope and then the what was it? The cobalt hue 5% is what that one is. Oh, that was the other thing. Sorry, I just saw the memberships thing. I added another tier to the memberships. So right now, YouTube members and Instagram subscribers and Facebook subscribers all get a coloring download once a month. But so that if you wanted to have the badge and be able to use the emotes in case you're just, you know, not interested in the page or whatever else. Anyway, I added a lower cost tier for that. So it doesn't include the coloring page, but you do get the badge and the emotes for the channel. So I think it was like $1.99 is that tier. So if you're interested, I did add that. So there's a secondary tier. I knew I missed another announcement. So yeah, that is there now. So instead of, what did I have it before? Like coloring family or whatever it is. So now we have brushes and pencils. So I think I have pencils as the coloring page tier, and then brushes are the, obviously the pencils still have the channel badge and emotes and all of that. But brushes are the channel specific tier now. But I was like, I should just add another one because not everybody Like, I know there's a few people out there that don't actually like to get like PDF versions because they either don't have a printer or they prefer books or whatever else. But I forgot to mention that. All right, so this is Peach Blossom. Yeah, but it has been nice just to paint. I know there's a number of you in here now that weren't here when I initially showed them. So if you guys want to see the paintings I was working on, let me know. All right, so now let's go into the light heliotrope of the Mythographic. Yeah. So there's one of the pages I love out of it, but there's more I don't like. No, that's fair. That's fair. Honestly, I rarely have books where I like all the pages. Like, even though I'm doing, like, let's finish this entire series of the book, there are pages in here that I'm coloring that I maybe wouldn't have colored before. Like, right now, honestly, the neon one, I would have skipped over this. Like, easy. But since I'm going page by page, I'm doing it anyway. Like, these ones that are just kind of... I don't know, that's why I'm doing like different unique things with them, because my ADHD will lose interest in them because they're just kind of samesies, you know? I'm excited about this one. I'm excited about that one, but there's definitely 8 pages in here that I would normally skip that I'm going to need to go through. Okay, let's zoom back in just a little bit. Okay, so we're doing the light heliotrope. 4 hours yesterday, fighting with my printer, ended up taking a drive to pick up cables to hardwire it. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I feel you. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can see it. I've got my... Yeah, turned off my sound. Anyway. Okay, you can't see it. I've got my stuff that's set on here, the stuff I just showed you. But this one's mine. Also, all my yarn. But this one's mine, and I eventually just hardwired it because I was just like, it was disconnecting or it wasn't sending or whatever else. And I'm just like, why does it hate me? Why is it doing this? Turn that just a skosh. Okay, there we go. That's better. Hi, Alex. How are you? I know it's been so long since we've done streams. It's been weird. Like, it's been nice kind of just having the quiet time where I didn't really have, like I said, the decompressed time post-Christmas. So it was nice not really needing to do anything. Again, that's why I hadn't been posting any episodes. I didn't have any like banked or you know, scheduled. A responsible content creator would have pre-scheduled things so that they could take some sort of a vacation from it. I did not. I just turned into a potato. So it really is. It really is. Right? It's crazy how much it is. There was some video I saw before where the printer she had, it was literally that, where the ink, it was cheaper to buy a new printer that came with ink than it was to purchase the ink. And it's like, how does make that make sense? I've been tempted to like figure out the off-brand inks with like where you can refill the tanks. I think there's I can't remember if it's the brand of printer, the thing, or the ink, where it's Eco Tank, I think. Anyway, eventually I want to get a laser printer, but I can't imagine how much more that is. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I swear we're getting color in here. But I'd rather go lighter at the beginning and then slowly build up our colors. Sugar Sweet's color, the year pages, got to figure out the recording process to get my channel going through. Yes, absolutely. If you need any help, feel free to message me. I've got a couple things in the pipeline for 2026. Still no coloring page or, you know, coloring book deal, but you know, its time will come. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to keep putting stuff out there and it'll happen when it happens. I figure it'll happen when it will happen when it's meant to happen, kind of thing. Okay, so now let's grab the Cobalt Blue 5%. Epson Eco Tank. Yeah. Is it really? Is it inkjet or laser? Maybe that's why I was looking at it. Okay, so this is the Cobalt Blue 5%. But yeah, kids will go back to school next week, so things should kind of get back to normal. That's why I think I'm gonna take a look at those Granny Square cards. It's inkjet. Ooh, but it's waterproof. See, that's what I need. I need waterproof. Oh, you know what? I showed little Emily for the first time the other day. Which had waterproof, so the only brand I know. Oh, I might need to look into that. This printer was gifted to me by Canon, so I do really enjoy it. Better in Black Book. Oh, nice. I watched with her Sister Act 2. Sister Act 1, I just sort of skimmed over after we were done with Sister Act 2 because it's not super appropriate for her, but we skipped to the singing parts, which you love. But we watched Sister Act 2 and it was she enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It'd been so long since I watched it. Bye, Dawn. Thanks for being here. But it was so good. Oh yeah, here, I'll show you for those that missed it earlier. So this is the pomegranate one. These are all done with gouache. So I was posting these this week. So this is like a lot of the me time I've been doing. So that's the pomegranate one. And then we've got the raspberries. And eventually these will go up in the shop, but I want to get a few more done. And then this one is the garlic, and this is the work in progress for the kiwi. It's clearly not done yet, but that one. I'm planning on doing a bunch more of them. Okay, let's see. Cobalt hue 5%. Getting closer. Right? I was thinking that. I was trying to think about like where in the kitchen I could hang them up. See, Anaconda movie was hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Collection of short stories. That's nice. Thank you, Connie. Yeah, I've really been enjoying it. So I've got the kiwi that I'm doing now. I have plans to do a nectarine. Let's see, what else? An avocado, blueberries, grapes. Wait, Durbin, was that you? Somebody suggested a Granny Smith apples. That one's there. I want to do some potatoes, dragon fruit, tomato, pear. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking with a bunch of little 4-inch by 4-inch frames. Now, those ones will end up going up in the shop, but I am going to, at the very least, order myself some prints of them and have them up. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that. Hi, Maria. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We are just coloring in Magical Earth with our Neocolor IIs. Hi, Catherine. How are you? How was your Christmas? How are the kids? All right, so now we're going to go back into Sky Blue. There are some fruit-themed items at Hobby Lobby. Like there is this strawberry cookie jar and a strawberry pitcher that I totally love. And it just got me thinking. I was just like, first of all, why are there no like blackberry kitchen items, like a blackberry cookie jar, a large blackberry cookie jar? Like I'd be all over that. But it made me think, I'm like, I should just create a bunch of like small little paintings to hang around. Just do like little individual ones, the hobbits. Yeah, so Butterflies, for whatever reason, the website is down. Like even if you click loyalty, it goes to my donation page, not my store page. So I talked about it a little bit earlier. So for now, the store is down. I need to fix it. I'm going to sit with that this week and hopefully have it fixed by next stream. But we are going to, we're going to be doing probably a special stream where we wrap up the quilt. So we're going to do giveaways of more charms and squares and all of that stuff. So charms and everything is currently down, but I'm going to fix it this week. And it should hopefully be up and running by the time we come back. But yeah, I'm not even sure why. Like, I hate that it's taking you to the donation page because it looks like I'm putting the loyalty store behind a paywall, and I promise I'm not. It's just glitching for whatever reason. So I will be getting that fixed, and then I'll do like a post, like a roundup post to let people know, like, hey, we're finishing it up, yada yada. So yeah, we'll get that figured out. Thank you, Maria. So if you saw it and you're like, oh my gosh, why is she putting a paywall? I swear it's not meant to be a paywall. Let's see. Let's open up our pop one because I want to do, where is it? Periwinkle blue up at the top. Only have one to go. Yeah, no. We're definitely going to be giving everybody, oh no, that was a picture. We're definitely going to be giving everybody plenty of notice before we wrap up the quilt project. Because I was just like, well, everybody is, you know, they need time to do the things that they want to do for it. And then when I saw it wasn't working today, I was like, oh, fabulous. So yeah, no worries. We're not going to stop the thing until everybody has a chance to get what they want, because we got like 13 squares left, which would explain, because usually I have redemptions that trickle in when I'm not streaming, but I was just like, wow, there really wasn't anything these last couple of weeks. And I was like, oh, now I know why. It's because it's broken. Some books I want to know. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to get the shop for it fixed, and then we will be doing giveaways for squares for people who don't have squares yet and want them. I need to catch up on, because I have squares for Steve and the kids that I want to add to it. I'm making a Johanna square for it. And then I want to give a chance to everybody to kind of, you know, get what charms they want afterwards, all that. So yeah, it's by no means done yet. I just was not aware that the website was down. So I will take that. So yeah. All right, so we're just filling this in with periwinkle. Britt. Okay. Let's add a little bit more sky blue here. It's just very scribbly now, but we're gonna get this wet and then we can even it out a bit. So let's go ahead, zoom out just a skosh. All right, so I've got my water over here, and I've got my paintbrushes out because I've been using them all. Let's do this one. This one is the Da Vinci number 3 round. Welcome back. All right. Let's see, how are we doing on time? It's 11 already? My goodness. My goodness. All right, let's move this stuff. Bring our water down here. Okay, got our handy dandy little towels here. Put that one there. All right, so the key for this is not to oversaturate your paper. This is not watercolor paper. This is coloring book paper. I'm going to plug in my, I'm under the desk here. Hang on. I am going to plug in my heat gun. I've got the link for this in the description. Well, it's not this one exactly. I wish, Maria, that would be the goal at some point. I'm working towards it, but not quite yet. I did, Alex. Yeah, I got the anniversary set of the pop and the pastel. Oh, nice. Oh, they're so fun, Mona. I'm really enjoying them. I'm really enjoying it. I still have a page that I'm doing on my own that I need to finish with them. But yeah, I'm really enjoing them. But yeah, Maria, absolutely. That would be a wonderful goal to have someday. Sorry, I'm under the desk. Wonderful goal to have someday. But it has just not happened yet. So, somewhere out there. Okie dokie. So we've got our heat gun, which is the key to adding water medium in coloring books on paper that is not meant to be watercolored. So I'm going to turn this a little bit. Okay. Get this a little bit wet here. And yeah, I'm just going to start in the corner, I think. Right, Alex? I know I saw them. Those were definitely number 1 on the list of ones I wanted to get. I think I could zoom in a little bit for this one. Now, it doesn't reactivate quite as much as like gouache or watercolor would. And part of it is because the paper is so absorbent to the water, which is why you have to be careful. You can use a water brush, but I find that for me personally, because I paint so frequently, I find that I have much more control over my water by using an actual paintbrush. And it's okay if you go over it a little bit, like I said, because these kind of layer on top of one another. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've used the water brushes, but I feel much more comfortable with these now. And like I said, I feel like I have more control over what it is because a lot of times water brushes can sometimes release too much water. So my method when I use this to not use too much. So I've got this here. This is like a little collapsible cup. So I keep the rag underneath one so I don't get water stains on my little wood. Fun fact, this isn't actually my desk. This is a big old piece of wood that I stained that I have clamped to my desk because I don't want a shiny stain or a polish on it because you get really bad light glare. So I wanted a matte background, but still I didn't want to get water stains because I take pictures of everything on there. But so what I'll do is I'll dip, and then of course how it is here, like it's too much water, and so I'll usually just dab it on there, and then I always make sure that I don't have a drop of water that's on the ferrule. The ferrule is what the name of this metal part is, because if there's a water drop on the edge and it hits that brush, it'll sometimes fall down and like into your bristles, and it's just too much water. Now, one of the things is because I sometimes misgauge it and I'll end up putting a little bit of puddle. If there's a water droplet or somehow you get too much, you don't necessarily want to spread that water around because then you're going to press all of that water into the paper a little bit more, plus smear it in places you don't want. So your best thing to do is to grab something like this or a paper towel, whatever you keep close, and just dab up that water as fast as you can. Yeah, exactly, Mona. Yeah, I feel, and like I said, part of it is because I paint so frequently, but I just feel like I have more control over the water when I do this, and especially because like this is really good paper, but it's also not watercolor paper. It's not really mixed media paper. So one of the things you want to watch out for when adding water to your coloring books is that your paper isn't starting to pill up, and you can kind of see that where the fibers start to break down a little bit, and it almost looks like you put speckles in your paint, but it's not actually there. So if you feel like your water is starting, or your paper is starting to pill up, the best thing you can do is dry it quickly. So we're gonna be pausing here when I'm done with the periwinkle, and we're gonna dry it before I move on to the sky blue light. Yeah, they release too much water, exactly. Yeah, absolutely, Mona. I know, right, Britt? I have to be so careful. This one is a number 3 Da Vinci round. You can find the Da Vinci ones. I think I might actually even have a link for it in the bottom. You can find them on Amazon. These are the brushes that I treat myself to on the few times. So my oculoplastic surgeon for my eye for this thing that I got, I have to go to Austin for it. So anytime I ever go to Austin, it's usually because I have to go to a specialist appointment, and so those are no fun, and so I will treat myself to a Jerry's Artorama visit and usually get myself a new paintbrush. So yeah, it's a number 3 round. My favorites that I use frequently, so I usually keep these in a cup. Hi, Sue. But I've been painting so much, I've just been leaving these on my desk. Well, I'll draw in pencil here. But my ones that I grab most frequently are going to be these two. So the number 3 round, and I've worn it off here, but it is a 0 round. Sometimes I'll grab one of these slightly smaller ones. So this is the same Da Vinci. This is, these are all the Cosmotop Spin. Maybe we could do like a specialty, like just do a small one. No, you know what might be fun? I know I was doing these. What if I did a stream where I just worked on one of these? So like this one, I'm doing mostly 4x4 size ones. But this one took me a solid 4 hours without interruptions, but we could do a 4x4 with like a singular smaller piece of fruit. And I did, yeah. So this one's not done yet. This one's not done yet. I was posting these online. There was also this garlic one here. This one's not done yet because I haven't even added the seeds. I haven't done like the inside of the fruit here, and I haven't added any of the hairs. But we could do that because I could do a version of this that has very light lines and very dark lines, and then you could take these, a stream with fruit. I wondered if people would be interested in it because we mostly do coloring, but we could totally do one of these where I I could give you guys the download for like a line drawing of this so that you can either print it directly onto watercolor paper or use a light box and trace it. Because I can show you how like I said, I can do the line drawing and then we can trace it like on stream. Stream of fruit, okay. On tiles and hanging them as a backsplash. That would be cute. What would you use to seal them on tiles? But yeah, I've really been enjoying these this week. Like I said, like I've had a lot more time to just straight up paint. This one took the longest, but honestly, like I really love it. This is the frame that I had, but I feel like this would look much nicer with like a cherry wood frame or like a darker brown frame. So this is not going to be its final resting place. I'm planning on eventually doing some prints of these, but all of these little painted ones, these will end up going up in the shop, the originals, and then depending on how they do, I'll probably put some prints up in the shop because they're going to be smaller, so they'll be a much more, because I know I've got my bigger paintings up there, but I mean, everybody's on a budget these days, so it's not super practical that they'll sell real fast, but I was thinking if somebody wanted original art, but in smaller form, it's a little bit more feasible. Not to mention, they're a lot easier to send. Who's loving the lack of routine, but also looking forward to routine. Britt, I feel like we're kind of at that point. Like, we're all exhausted, but I can tell that the kids, like, could do. That's why we took them, like, bike riding and out to the park yesterday. I'm just like, I think it might benefit if everyone got outside. Okay, now because I stopped, I've got a little bit of unevenness there, but we're going to be going over with these again. Oh, yep, like that was way too much. I did a drop. I wasn't paying attention. We're going to be going over these again. This is just like the initial layer of these. We're kind of just color blocking, so to speak. We're just kind of getting everything in. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we could do that. We could do a special painting stream because I have really been enjoying it. I'll figure out what, because I want to figure out a piece of fruit that maybe we could get done. Like, because it could be a longer stream. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, that could work. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle to screenshot and trace only because when you touch it, it moves. But if I'm ever tracing anything, like if I've done an illustration on my iPad and then I want to transfer it to paint or whatever, obviously it doesn't really work for canvases. What I do for canvases when it's a little bit bigger is I overlay a grid and then I put a grid on the canvas like this one here. And I say I'll get it done eventually, but unsurprisingly, I have not yet because it's just like a massive undertaking. And with acrylic, like I have to you can't reactivate the acrylic once it dries. So this has been something I've had sitting here for like 2 years. I've only just barely started it. I really need to. I don't know if you guys can see it. Will the light adjust? Maybe not. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Fun fact, this was actually a clearance Hobby Lobby painting. So the canvas is a little loose, but I'm not selling it or anything, but it's got a frame. It's like $5. So here, let's switch here real quick. Okay. Hang on. We're going to zoom out. Bear with. It's really big and awkward. Okay. Is it focus? There we go. All right. So I have a grid. There we go. I have a grid. And then the image that I'm using, I also put a grid over that and then sketched everything in. I really do need to finish this. What it's going to be in the end is the scene from Lord of the Rings. Oh, hey, look, chat's finally working. The scene from Lord of the Rings, so you can see some of the sketching. When Frodo first walks out on his balcony in Rivendell after he gets stabbed by the... Oh my God, my brain's not working. Anyway, it's really pretty. I got part of it. I'll finish it someday. But yeah, so if it's too big for me to, use it over the light board, I'll just do a grid, which works. But yeah, we could totally do a special painting. Well, it's when he got stabbed on top of the mountain by the Black Rider. And then, yeah, it goes to Rivendell. Arendelle is from Frozen. Yeah, the ring wraith. Thank you. Thank you, Durbin. Yeah. I couldn't, my brain was not braining well. Well, my goal for today is I want to get this this done. Like I said, the kids aren't in school right now. Little Steve, we did a treatment for him for his ear infection. And then after he finished it, I don't think it quite took because he's experiencing the symptoms again. And we haven't gone anywhere for him to pick up the flu again. So it definitely, we're bringing him in this afternoon. But consequently, he's feeling a little miserable today. Yeah, it's Frozen. It's cool though. It's cool. I'm right there with you. But yeah, we could totally do a fruit lesson. That actually sounds like a lot of fun because I've really been enjoying it lately. Like a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and dry where we're at now. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic with my thing. Hopefully that's not too loud for you. I love a heat gun though. The difference between a heat gun and a blow dryer is it's less air, more heat. Blow dryer is a little less hot and blows out a lot of air so it can blow things all over the place. Maybe I'll do like a poll in the community tab and see how many people would be interested in it. I just get into the zone when I'm doing those. In the zone, auto zone. All right, so we did the periwinkle blue. So let's see, do I want to go from brush? Because there's a couple ways we can do this. We can, now that it's dry, we can add this directly onto the paper, or we can just like use it like you would almost like a watercolor palette. But I think because it's such a bigger space, I want to go ahead and apply pastel to paper. I know we haven't activated this stuff down here, but I kind of want to make some headway on this for you guys. Sorry, checking to make sure. Little Steve, I thought I heard him coming. All right, so we're going to do periwinkle, and I'm just doing little circles. Term for that is scumbling. If you ever want a good guideline on coloring techniques and their names, really great book is Color Workshop by Rachel Reinert. She could not lay it out any more easily, of course. And it talks about all different coloring techniques. I want to say exclamation point Color Workshop actually in chat if Nightbot's working. Anyway, Rachel Reinert, you can find her on Amazon, and it is such a well thought out book. 100% recommend it. I almost said recommend. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's hard when not everything translates well overseas. Okay, so now we're gonna do sky blue. That's why I'm waiting for the Derwent, because it's coming from overseas right now, so the price is higher. So I'm waiting for them to get, hopefully, stock back in the US, because I just refuse to pay more than $135. Oh, it really is. Yeah, it's fabulous. When I met her this past summer, we talked about upcoming projects and whatnot, so it's pretty exciting. Okay. Sky blue. You can see how it is much darker than it was before, and it will get even darker. Oh, it must be out of stock. Oh, well, thank you for checking. I could ask her next time we talk, say like, hey, is this one gonna come back in stock anytime soon? I love it so much. Okay, this one is the Cobalt Blue 5%. That I am pressing a little bit harder with this now. But yeah, New Year's was good for us. We, our neighborhood always, like everybody always sets off fireworks. It's great because we get like a personal show. I'm also like fearing for my house that it doesn't catch on fire, but still, it's always nice because then we go outside and, you know, we watch the ball drop in New York at 11 here. And then when it's midnight here, we, you know, get bundled up with blankets and stuff because it actually was cold at midnight. So that was nice. And we go out and watch the fireworks while they go off. And then we trickle back in at like 12:30 and call it a night. Oh, yeah, it's great, Connie. I love it so much. Actually, I was kind of reorganizing the office and such, and I went ahead and got that picture of Rachel and I printed out, and now it's up on the wall along with another friend, a gaming friend that I met when we went on that last Oregon trip, so that was nice. Let's see, cobalt blue, 5%. The sky blue. All right, we're going to go ahead and wet this now before we get into the heliotrope, so you'll be able to see how much darker it's going to get. Oh, nice. See, with the HOA, we're not actually supposed to let off fireworks in the neighborhood, so we personally don't do it, but we're not going to tell anyone else not to do it. It's none of our business. So we just, you know, enjoy the fireworks for what they are. Things like, one of the reasons I really like these brushes too, because things that I look out for are where the brush doesn't fray on the tip and it still stays a super nice point. You know, as long as you're taking care of your brushes. Number one rule, don't ever leave your brushes just sitting in your water. Nice, Renee. That sounds fabulous, honestly. It was really nice seeing my sister and her family and everything. I hadn't, gosh, the kids were little last time we went to go see them. But it was nice. So they came out here. We're going to dry this real quick. Oh my gosh, Dee, I need to watch the last episode. I do. Every now and then, like I'll see a video that's like going to be spoilers and I keep having to like scroll past it because I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch the final episode. So I'm like, okay, I need to sit down and do that. But yeah, so they came out and they had an Airbnb in Austin, and so we drove up there, hung out with them, you know, decorated cookies and all that kind of stuff. Went out to eat. And then near the end, we did can't even remember the name of it now, but it's the lights in Austin. I posted a picture of it. It's really pretty. You get like all of the lights with then the city skyline in the background. Like if I was ever going to paint Christmas pictures, that's why I saved a picture of, like I took it specifically because I was like, this would be a really pretty painting. Let me see if I can find it and show you guys. Let's see, is it this one? I think it's this one. Let me turn it. There you go. Isn't that so pretty? Like, so cool. With the city skyline, with all the lights, there's a Ferris wheel there. The kids got to ride and everything. But yeah, it was really, really pretty. Stuff to watch. So, okay, yeah, well, you won't have any spoilers here because I don't know it yet. Yeah, it was really pretty. Okay, so let's see. Light heliotrope. That's what we did. And then the peach blossom. Let's see. That's the Rose of Garance. Peach blossom? Yes, peach blossom. And the conch. Was it conch shell? Conch pearl. Yeah, it was really, really pretty. It was crowded as all get out. Way too many people for our little homebody selves to be like, oh yeah, this is precisely, yeah, no, there were a ton of people there and we were all a little exhaled a little bit by the time we got home. Like, I'm extroverted. I have no problem talking to strangers, but the introverted part of me was exhausted afterwards. I'm like, I need to not talk. But on our last day, they came over to our place. We got to show them the house because they hadn't seen it since we moved here. And then I made some pasta and we did our Secret Santa gift exchange and it all went really well. I also made some little mini kolaches, but I was going to tell you. Oh yeah, for sure. Here, let me let me just do it here and then you can screenshot it and save it for later. So let me turn the names. So we have periwinkle, and then we've got sky blue, cobalt blue, fiber in frame. No, here we go. Okay. So periwinkle. Yeah, that's as close as it goes. Periwinkle, cobalt blue, 5%. Then we've got light heliotrope. Then we've got peach blossom and conch pearl. Okay, can we see all the names? Ah! There we go. Okay, feel free to screenshot. Hi, Jeanette, how are you? All right, hopefully that worked. All right, all my gluten-free besties, if you are someone that likes to cook at home, I have finally mastered a good, awesome. I have finally mastered a good bread recipe. I got the measurements and stuff for a recipe for Japanese milk bread. And I thought this would be good because when it comes to gluten-free baking, yeah, actually, I should go and grab the recipe. But when, actually, I'll just post it in Discord later. Do I have it up here? I feel like I do. So when it comes to gluten-free baking, a lot of times, there it is. A lot of times it will be too dry. It's just the way the flour is. So sometimes you'll need to add extra moisture or just cook it a little bit differently. So I initially tried to follow the recipe like as it was. Hang on, I'm switching over to, oh, awesome Brit. Let's see. Here. So I initially tried it, the regular recipe, but it was too dry. It was really dense. Like it was not fabulous. Okay, we're going to go here. We're going to put it in recipes. Let's see, food picks. Yeah, I'll put it in there, food picks. Okay. All right. Okay. So I just put it in Discord. But essentially, so it's 4 cups. So I use the Measure for Measure King Arthur flour blend. And so it's 4 cups of the gluten-free flour, 1/4 cup of softened butter, 2 eggs, because normally it calls for 1 egg, 2 cups of milk. I microwave it like in 30-second increments, and I use a thermometer to get it between 100 and 115 for yeast. 1 tablespoon of salt, except I usually do a little bit less because it felt a little too salty. And I don't know if maybe it would be better if I did like unsalted butter. Might work better, but I just do a little bit less than a tablespoon of salt. I may or may not have messed up when I was really tired in making it and I accidentally did substituted the salt for sugar, but I didn't, like, it wasn't like I swapped them. I did them both and I'm like, what happened to my yeast? Why did it die? Oh, because I put 2 tablespoons of salt in with it. I'm gonna tell you right now, salt and yeast are not friends. Anyway, it was a disaster. But so there's the 1 tablespoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and the 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. But what I found helps, and for anyone that makes bread, this is going to be a no-brainer. What I found helps is, so I take the Dutch oven, just the little, you know, the cast iron Dutch oven, and I put it in the oven on like my lowest. I think my oven goes all the way down to 170. So just enough to keep it warm. So before I start everything, I put the Dutch oven in there and let it kind of warm a little bit. And then in a microwavable safe, like glass measuring cup, I do my 2 cups of milk, warm it in 30-second increments. I usually get it to about 105. Then I add in the 2 tablespoons of sugar, mix it up real good. Then I add in the tablespoon of yeast, mix that up, and then let that sit for 10 minutes. That's like one of the key things. Because like when you do a bread maker bread, you kind of just dump it all in there and hope for the best. But for this one, I let it froth up. I let it do its thing for 10 minutes. And while I'm doing that 10 minutes, then I add in the flour, the butter, the egg, and the salt. I soften the butter and I put all of that like around the outside. And I do 2 eggs. The original recipe called for 1. Okay, 2 eggs, and then this is where like it gets specific. And I know that we're taking a break from coloring, but it's because I'm so happy with this recipe. I have eaten more fluffy bread in the last month than I have eaten in the last 5 years. I started my gluten-free thing in 2020, and this has been like life-changing. So, I think so. I've heard of people using honey because I know that you can't do much sugar. I would test it. I don't know about the almond milk, but I would test it with the honey. Let me know how it works because it'd be cool to have some alternatives too. And then, so I let it sit. And then once the milk and yeast stuff is done, then I put that in and then I mix it all in. I've started using the bread hook that I have on my handheld mixer rather than my hands because I don't want to add any extra flour. Like even when, like I do on my kneading, so to speak, in the bowl before I let it rest. So I try not to touch it and I try not to add any extra flour because the more flour I add, the more dry it's going to be. So I mix that all up in the bowl. I have a little silicone peak spatula that I use because I can really get it on the sides. Meanwhile, I take the Dutch oven out of the oven because it's nice and toasty. I spray it with some vegetable oil. And once I have the dough completely mixed, then I just kind of plop it into there. Now you could shape it if you want, but it's so sticky at this point. I don't even go for looks. It's about consistency and flavor. So it doesn't really look real smooth on top because normally, you know, you have it on the silicone mat with flour and you're kneading it. No, I don't do any of that because otherwise it gets way too dense and dry. So I put the lid on because now the Dutch oven's kind of warm. I leave it sitting on the stove and I let it rest for about an hour and it should double in size, which for gluten-free bread is like amazing. So I let it double in size for an hour and then I remove it. And here's the thing is I use this bread recipe for multiple things. So I'll usually like make actual bread and then like I'll take some of it and I'll make myself a couple little tiny cinnamon rolls or I'll make kolaches. I tried putting blueberries in it to make it kind of like a scone, but it's super versatile bread. So feel free to make some rolls or whatever. I haven't done like a big loaf, but I usually do rolls and then like I eat that. And then if I'm making cinnamon rolls or kolaches, but it's so good. And it's fluffy. I love it. So then I shape everything, still not using any extra flour. I don't do any kneading afterwards because the dough is still so sticky. But I have like a, what are they, bench scrapers? Is that what they're called? Anyway, but I use that to separate everything and I just very carefully kind of mold it around. I put it on a cookie sheet with parchment paper. I let it rise, you know, rest for another 10 minutes and then I pop it in, bake it at 340 degrees for 22 minutes. And you guys, I'm telling you this whole recipe because it's been freaking life-changing. As long as you don't use salt instead of sugar and kill your yeast. It's so good, Renee. It's so good. I've got some in the freezer. That's the other thing is it freezes well. So a lot of stuff I know I'm going to eat in like 1 to 2 days, I'll leave in the fridge, but the rest of it, so the rolls that I make are usually about like yay big. And then I pop it in the microwave for like 30 seconds, minute max, and it heats up like this. It's still super fluffy and moist and not dry. And welcome to my TED Talk of bread. I'm just getting so tired of the teeny tiny loaves that are 50% crust. And it's like, hello, I want some nice toast too. Anyway, okay, sorry. That was a little squirrel moment. But if you want the recipe, I put it in the food pick section in Discord because it has been freaking life-changing. I make it so much. The bread flour that I use is about $8 a bag, which is still, you know, expensive, but gluten-free stuff is always expensive. So yes, burger buns. Yes. I had, before I had mastered how to get it fluffier, I had done this recipe, for like sandwich rolls because we were making French dip, so it would work great for that. Like it's super versatile and it's so good. Let me know how it works. Like I would think that it would work just fine with honey. I don't know about the almond milk because I don't know enough about the science of the factors of using milk, but it would probably work because it would probably substitute well with like water too. But yeah, I absolutely love it and I make it all the time now. And it really doesn't take that long because I'm usually done putting all of my other ingredients like before the milk is even done frothing. It's just so good. I had no idea how much I missed actual fluffy bread. Excuse me. You don't get a lot of color on top. I'll put an egg wash on top sometimes if I want it to look a little bit more toasty, but you don't get a ton of color because gluten-free stuff just doesn't. Once it's cooked, but sugars are, oh, I can imagine. So does honey, because it's like a more natural sugar, are you okay with honey then? Because I would think, I thought about trying it. I would think honey would be just fine with it.
Because really the sugar is just what, to add a little bit of sweetness to the bread, but also helps the yeast activate, which the same thing could happen with honey. So I would think it would be just fine. All right, we're gonna dry this. Sorry, we have been talking so much today, but I also haven't seen you guys like in ages. Don't feed the bacteria. But do you mean like it doesn't feed the yeast? Or are you talking about because sugar doesn't, regular sugar doesn't sit well? Either way, I've been fiddling with this recipe for a while, and yeah, the thing that I discovered that makes it the fluffiest is I touch it as, oh, okay, gotcha. I touch it as little as possible. I don't add any more flour when I'm kneading it, because after it's risen and I put it back out on the silicone mat, it doesn't really stick to the mat. Like, it does a little bit, but because it's got the vegetable oil on the outside from being in the Dutch oven, it doesn't really stick to the mat. So I just touch it as little as possible and then just make it into whatever I want. But it is, oh, so good. Life-changing. All right, so we're going to use a little bit of this over the top so we get more of an even blend, but also this has been pretty wet, so I'm just trying to keep an eye on the paper as well. Sorry, if you're new here, we tend to go off on side quests, especially if I get excited about sharing something. But it is just so good. I initially saw the recipe for it on TikTok and I screenshotted it. And I was rewatching the video the other day, and they mix theirs up differently than how I mix mine up. But I was just like, you know what? This works for me though. So I'm just gonna leave it. All right, now let's go ahead. Do sky blue. I'm telling you, this is the most I've talked in like a week and a half. I just been painting and catching up on stuff. That's all. Plus, I now have some, hi, Miss Cones. I got some of my gluten-free besties in chat here. And I have just been so excited about this bread. Like, you know, if it was a movie, it'd be like that, ah, angel song. All right, let's go and zoom out for a minute. Since we're kind of working on this left side, let's go ahead and activate this over here. Okay. Because even though we won't get the whole background done, I want to get this whole side done. Because obviously it'll be the same kind of all the way across. But if we can get this whole side done, that would be good. All right, now let's dry, because that was the initial activation. Yeah, I was just looking at my books and I'm like, I have done so much Johanna Bass work. We need to mix it up a little bit. Hence the Mythographic instead. But yeah, it's been amazing. Because I've also just been like reheating one and then just like eat it as a snack with a little bit of jam. The scale probably won't appreciate how much bread I've been eating, but like I said, it has been years since I've had decent bread, and you better believe I'm enjoying it. Okay. So we're just gonna layer in more of that. That was the conch pearl. Then we're gonna grab the peach blossom. Remember, this is what we did with those colors up there when we added kind of our second layer. Bring that up in here. A little bit of the heliotrope. Hang on one second. Sorry, I just need to clear my throat. Okay, so heliotrope. But yeah. It just doesn't take that long. The most time-consuming part is just letting it rest for the hour, but you're not really having to do anything. So I usually just, you know, set a timer and come back to it. All right, so we're going to wet this. It's like the wind's picking up outside. When the temperature dropped, we had a pretty strong amount of wind that came through over here. Okay. Get a little bit more there. Let's see. Let's bring some of this blue down a little bit more. Okay. Because the heliotrope is a little bit more muted. Like the others are pastels, but it's like there's a little bit more gray in the heliotrope than I like. So I'm okay with us kind of changing the color a little bit by layering this light blue on top. And again, I'm not too worried the fact that I'm going over some of the branches. We'll make it work. Okay, let's get the peach blossom. And then what I can do is I can catch up on this for next stream so we can start working on either the stag or the stones. Okay, let's see, let's do some here. I don't need too much of that conch pearl. I feel like it came out pretty strong, honestly. Let's do a little bit of the sky blue. Okay. And I'm going out of the line a little bit, but it's okay. We'll make it work. There we go. Okay, we're getting that blend. Let's do a little bit of the cobalt blue 5%. I bet you there's some really pretty blues in the other set. Just gonna bring that down. Like I said, they layer pretty nicely, but I can see that my paper's starting to break down a little bit. Let's see if I can get it in focus for you guys to see it. That way you can recognize it when it starts to happen to your own paper. Okay, let's see. If I tilt it a little bit. Maybe closer. Will it focus? Let's see. Sorry, no, I'm moving it a lot. Okay. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but do you see that little nick that's right there? You might not be able to. Anyway, it's just a little part of the paper that's starting to pill up. So it definitely means, because I've added a lot of water to that. So we're going to let this, get it back in focus. We're going to let this dry. Sorry, I did not mean to hit the mic. When you're all done too, when you've got all your branches and whatnot, you can always go over the background again and fill in any part that maybe is like a little bit blotchy or not quite what you want. Yeah, I can feel it's wrinkling more there too. So we're definitely going to give that spot a break. Let's work a little bit on this bottom part here. Again, I'm not too worried that we're going over some of the branches and leaves because it layers a bit, so it won't be noticeable by the time we get the rest of the colors down. I like this brush because you can do fine stuff with it, but it's also big enough that it holds enough water that we can kind of go over medium size spaces. There we go. Hi, Kara, how are you? But this was our first year where the jig was up for the holiday. I'll choose my words carefully in case there's any kids watching. But it was a different kind of dynamic, and it was interesting. The kids still had a lot of fun. They were very excited. Everything was a hit, so I'll count it a win. Yes, Happy New Year to you as well. Okay, we're going to dry this before we go over with it. You definitely want your paper completely dry before you use the pastels directly on the paper. Otherwise, you may damage the paper or you'll get uneven blobs of color. Not good. Also, like, you want to make sure your paper's not too hot. We're definitely going to need to iron this for sure because it's pretty wrinkly. But if it's too hot, then the pastels will melt a little bit. So you'll end up with more uneven kind of blotches of color. So conch pearl. We'll do peach blossom. Ooh, like that. That was a little bit wet still. We'll roll with it. do the heliotrope. Right, and then the cobalt blue 5%. More heliotrope. Okay, now let's go ahead and with that, did I? Hold on, we're gonna add, ooh, that's still a little damp. Okay. Like I said, you just have to kind of go carefully and make sure that you're paying attention to your paper when you're adding water medium to a coloring book that isn't really meant to have water medium in it, and just dry a lot in between layers. Drop my paintbrush. No one saw that. Only downside of being live, when you mess up, everyone sees it. No hiding that. Sounds good, Renee. Thanks for the lurk. All right, so now we're gonna dry this. Oh, see, Nightbot's working a little bit. I gotta figure out what's going on with Streamlabs and the loyalty store. Get that figured out. Yeah, so the points is a Streamlabs bot. I may just need to reinitialize it. Sometimes when there's like updates that are sent out, the third-party bots that you have attached to it kind of become detached. So that's probably all I need to do, is just to reinitialize it. All right, so let's grab the cobalt blue 5%. Okay. Go over the heliotrope a bit. Just kind of smooths it out a little bit. Like, actually, I'm going to add a little bit there. So I'm trying to avoid any harsh lines. But again, I'm trying not to also oversaturate the paper. Which it's kind of getting close to that already, but Neocolors. I got a pack of King Art gel sticks for Christmas. I'm happy to have. Ooh, yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, so especially with adult coloring, because the illustration's so small, I definitely chose this particular one because it had more open spaces that I knew I could work with these. But you definitely have to do like a layering effect. So I usually do my initial lay down of all the color with the pastels directly onto the paper. Then I do the secondary one where once I've got everything mapped out, I darken it up a little bit. And then I do this final stage where I'm kind of layering the color on already placed colors. So the biggest thing at this stage is just making sure that I don't start destroying the paper. Packs the tree away. I know I'm gonna need, I probably should do that today. I mean, New Year's is officially over, so I'll need to do that. The kids are old enough now. Like in past years, I've put it away really quickly. But I don't think the kids will let me get away with that. So I still need to do that. It's not getting much paint on there. Yeah, a little bit. Okay, let's grab the peach blossom. So you can zoom in a little bit while I'm working on this middle part. Again, I'm just trying to be cognizant of how much water I'm putting on here. But yeah, if I were to choose anything that would go good with this, you just want to make sure that you're doing your layers, but also being kind to your paper.
Poor buddy, I can hear him coughing back there. I'm telling you, this season for illnesses has just been terrible. Thankfully, since we had our flu shots, because I definitely have been fighting a little something off. Not anything that obviously has knocked me off my feet, but we definitely all had it easier because we had our shots. But yeah, this flu season is brutal. So this area is looking a little rough right here, and I've definitely oversaturated it. So we're gonna fully dry this before we try and fix that. Thanks, Dee. Yeah, so we're doing the pastel for the background, and then we'll, I don't want to lose the contrast, the elk or the stag or whatever in front. Reindeer? Might be a reindeer. The nose looks like a reindeer. Anyway, hopefully it'll pop a bit more, but for the background, I was going for like a soft kind of sunrise. You can also dry the back, but this will give you kind of an idea. You see how this is all kind of wrinkled? That's all where the water medium has been. Okay, so instead of more heliotrope, let's actually add some more blue. There's nothing that says this has, wait, what am I doing? I was grabbing heliotrope. There's nothing that says this has to be like a perfect straight line all the way across, so I'm just going to use whatever is going to give us the smoothest result. And in this case, I'm wanting to cover up a little bit of these sharp lines that got from the paper starting to break down, because that's what that was. Hi, gotta welcome. Yeah, so apparently, and I didn't realize that, but apparently some of these colors, because these are from the anniversary set, I guess these were new colors for some of them. Because Durban has the 84, and yeah, they said that it's not in there. So yeah, I would just, like, if you've got some, because I don't know, I don't have the 84 set, so I'm not sure what colors are all in that, but I would just choose something that's similar. I definitely gravitate towards like the paler pastel colors for sure. Okay, let's do a little bit of the peach blossom. Do a little bit here. Oh, see, it's too much water. 3 new colors in a tin, yeah. Yeah, Connie, I think you have the full 84 set, don't you? I feel like you do. All right, let's go ahead and dry this now. All right, so now I want to get to the point, like, we're going to be adding a little bit more on top of this, but again, trying to be kind to the paper, so drying in between, and we're not going to go too heavy. Really? Like the names are different, or there's legitimately different colors? All right, so now we're going to get the sky blue. It's like when Arteza renamed some of their colors. I was like, well, this makes it really hard because now I've got to figure out what colors these used to be to tell people. So I'm just adding in, I'm going to call this our texture phase, where I'm adding a little bit of color so that it's not a solid like gradient all the way through. I'm going to add a little bit of a few different colors that kind of come in on the edge. So not a ton, but a bit. Let's grab the, part of me actually wants to grab a little bit of indigo, not a ton. Maybe an older set. How long have you had yours? That's not it. That's a completely wrong color. We're going to grab a little bit of indigo. Oh, we also grabbed the lilac, didn't we? The light lilac would be nice. We'll set that there. We may use that. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of indigo. Shannon, are you live today at noon? Now, it's pretty dark, so before we let that set, I'm going to rinse my brush. It's harder to fade this out and blend it in once it dries. So, and because we're doing a pastel background, I don't want it to be too strong, but I just want to add in a slight variation. Okay, let's grab our periwinkle. Different, gotcha. Which is what we had up here. We're going to layer it over the top just a bit. So this is like our third or fourth layer on here. So again, just pay attention to your paper. You don't need to press hard. The less water, the better. Enough that you can spread it around, but that the paper isn't coming apart at the seams here. Okay. Now let's grab the Cobalt Blue 5. Okay. Sorry, getting in focus mode here. Just going in different spots. That was way too much water. And just kind of smoothing things out. All right, so let's actually grab a little bit of the Rose of Garrets. I don't know what Garrets is. Okay. Let's see, are we getting much? Because these are newer, if I haven't like there's like a protective coating on them, so if I haven't scribbled anything on here, then it's a little bit off. Oh yeah, see that's very pink, but we're not doing the whole thing. So I'm just gonna get that wet, smooth it out just a bit. Again, I'm watching the paper, making sure it's not getting too torn up. Okay, let's go to the Peach Blossom. Okay, we've already got quite a bit of Peach Blossom on here, so it won't be too much difference. So let's actually grab the Rose of Garrets again. Okay, we're gonna add just a little bit. There we go. Not a lot. Okay. Now we've got the conch pearl down there. We can't really add a lighter color unless that lighter color is white. So we're actually gonna grab that real quick. Because any of the other yellows will just be too bright. Okay, let's carefully shift up there. There we go. All right, now I could dry this, but I'm just going to take the white directly from here. Okay. Just lightening it just a little bit. The whole point of this, like I said, is not to make it like a solid gradient all the way through. And then we're actually going to take a little bit of the Rose of Garrets and we're going to put it up here. And I got to be careful because I've redone this area quite a bit and I can tell that it's starting to break down. So I'm just going to very little water. Don't let it linger. Okay, let's do a little bit there. Okay, dried the brush. Not trying to spend too much time on any one spot. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of the Rose of Garrets. We're going to add some here. Rinse, dry, and spread it across. Make sure we're in frame. But I really want to get that spread out how I want it before it dries because I don't want any just large globs. All right, let's get the sky blue. Okay. Bring it here. Dry, spread. Okay, now we're going to get the Cobalt Blue 5%. And let's do a little bit up here too. That had a bit too much water on it. Okay. As you can see, I'm not lingering too long, but I can tell I am pushing my luck with this paper. So let's go ahead and dry this. So I definitely don't want to add any more. Oh, hold on. Wait, I'm going to spread this out. There we go. I don't want to add any more until this is fully dry.
Because this poor paper is probably just crying right now, which wouldn't help because then it'll get it more wet. And we can continue this kind of modeling all the way across. Like I said, it doesn't have to be just a straight gradient. I know it's getting close to noon here, so we're going to do a little bit here before we go. Still a little bit damp, but we're not going to do any more here. We're going to let that dry the rest of the way. So let's get the sky blue again. Yeah, I'll go through what fruit I have on deck for painting, and I will find one that's smaller that we could potentially do in like 2 or 3 hours, because it'll probably end up being a little bit of a longer stream, because it's not one that I want to do multiple parts in. Like, I'd like it to be like a special kind of one-off, so it'd probably be a little bit longer stream, but we can do it, you know, like I said, a more simple fruit. Ooh, that was a lot. That was a lot. I did not mean to do that. Apologize if you can hear the neighbor's dogs. There we go. All right, let's get a little bit of the cobalt hue 5%. This cobalt 5% is quickly becoming one of my favorite colors. It's very pretty. And like I said, if you don't have these colors, just use, you know, use whatever you have. It doesn't have to be specific. And I feel like kind of making this mottled instead of a straight gradient, it really just kind of adds something to it. It looks a little bit like, almost like clouds as well. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. Okay, let's get the rows of garrets. All right, let's go here, because we still got that kind of, there's a couple like scratchy lines where I sort of messed it up a little bit. Okay, blend that out. Oop, felt that paper fall apart. Okay, let's get a little bit of this. Too much water. Here we go. Sorry, I'm in focus mode now. I told you guys most of the stories though. I mean, there's so much going on. If there's anything you guys want to see again, we kind of gave a little brief update on the small victories and showed the paintings that I've been working on. Cool little Christmas gifts. Okay. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's got, like I said, a kind of mottled effect. Okay, let's grab some of the Cobalt 5. Oh, it is almost noon, so we'll wrap this up. There we go. A little bit here. There we go. The foreground because background is down. Oh, thanks. Well, see, that's the thing. So I'm keeping this a nice kind of like pastel, and this will still be a pastel. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shannon. Thank you. Yeah, I gotcha. So we'll still do kind of pastel, but that's also why I grabbed the burnt sienna and the black and the indigo, because there's going to be just enough shadow to help it kind of pop from the background. But I really feel like having the kind of mottled where you've got little bits of darker, you know, darker color and about, like we put a little pink up here. I feel like it adds just a little bit more interestingness to the eye. And so that will go all the way across. So I'll get this done before we stream again, and then we'll go in on either the, what is it, elk or reindeer? I don't know. Antlered, four-legged, hooved, cool thing. Or the stones. Do you show the finished quilt like page in small victories? Oh, I think I did at one point. Here, we'll shift this over real quick since it's wet. I don't want to do that yet. But yeah, so the finished quilt page is this one here. There's that one. And then finished this one, got posted, and this is the work in progress for the next one. I put white on here, but it just looks like snow, so I think I'm going to take that off, but the goal is to have this look like neon lights. So we'll do like pink, I forget the order I was gonna do, like pink, green, yellow, orange, maybe, or anyway, but it's gonna be neon lights. So that should be fun. But I got caught up with painting and did that instead of filming the episode. Thanks. So yeah, if you guys missed it, this is what we were talking about. I was painting some fruits and veg. I don't know, what is garlic? It's not a veg. Would you call it an herb? I gotta figure out what it's classified under. So we have some raspberries, pomegranate. This would look better in a darker frame. We've got the garlic, and this is the current spice. Yeah, I like that. This is the current work in progress, are the kiwis. But I really like that idea a lot. So we will, I'll go through what I was gonna do for more fruits and see if there's one that I can do, we could all do together. And that'll be a whole special stream. It won't be on our normal one. I'll choose a different day to do it because that would be a lot of fun. Maybe a weekend. So we have more time to sit down and do it because I usually have to jet out to go pick up the kids during the weekday, but I'll figure it out. Also over this next week, I will get the Streamlabs thing figured out and we'll make a game plan for the quilt. Anyway, all right. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me while we painted and caught up. Sorry it's been so long. Thanks for being patient. So yeah, hope you had a wonderful Christmas and Happy New Year, and should see you in a week. I don't think I've got anything planned, so I'll let you know if it changes. Anyway, thank you for being here. I'll chat with you all later. Bye.